Yo, what's up guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. Rimuru in Akame Ga Kill by alexkuhar360 Chapter 13, The Date. Akame's pav. I was sitting at base eating something Rimuru made as a test. I think he called it nachos. It was really good. It incorporated the chips he made, cheese, and even a little meat. As I was worshipping this divine invention, I saw Tatsumi, Leone, and Lubbock walk into the kitchen. It was easy to tell something happened during their time in the city. I am not sure what, since they are all still here, but since I am in charge while boss is away, I have to get the details to form a plan. I asked Tatsumi since I feel he is the one to tell it to me straight and not sugar-coated or like the other two might. Tatsumi, what happened in the capital that made you free have a guilty look on your face like that? Tatsumi scratched the back of his neck while looking away. I have a bad feeling about this. Well, since we didn't have much to do, I entered a fighting tournament to make some money to send back to my village, and it was kind of hosted by Esdeath. I am getting an even worse feeling now. What did these three do? He kept explaining while looking down now. It was all going fine until the finals, when I went out to fight my opponent. To my surprise was Rimuru. He said that I didn't know what I signed up for and that I needed to lose, so I didn't get Esdeath's attention since she was watching. What happened to Rimuru? I am going to beat Tatsumi's ass if something happens to him. Then, to avoid looking like I lost of purpose, we had the fight and he beat my ass really bad. While I was being taken away, I heard what Esdeath said to Rimuru, and it was, "I was willing to change my sexuality for you, but now I don't have to. You can call me Esdeath, drop the general." Then Esdeath put a collar around his neck and dragged him away. While I was thinking over what he said, Lubbock asked something. Was I the only one that thought Rimuru was a girl this entire time? I just ignored them while they were talking back and forth about that and thought. Then I made my decision. Okay. We will take some precautions in case he was actually captured, but realistically the best we can hope for is that Rimuru can get out of there himself. Who knows what kind of torture he is undergoing in there. Rimuru's pav. After I was being dragged to the palace by Esdeath, where she pretty much wouldn't let go of me, we went to the dining room. She had someone make some food and then proceeded to feed me like an infant. I think she has some weird thing for me that goes beyond a crush. Esdeath, I know how to eat by myself, you know. May I also ask why we are here? Esdeath started blushing and responded. I know you can feed yourself, but it looks so cute when I feed you. You are here because you and I will be living together for the rest of our lives. Since the first time during the semifinals when I saw your hair, I have only had eyes for you. So even if you don't love me yet, I will do everything possible to make you love me so we can be together forever. I couldn't help but blush madly that she just completely confessed to me like that. I had bad luck with girls on Earth, so I have never been in this situation before, so I don't know what to do. I also need to stick around here for a while and check things out, so I will have to play along to some extent. If you say so, I guess I could give it a try. What will we do now though? I could see a proud look on her face as she straightened a little before talking. The new team I formed will be going on their first mission tonight, and I want you to come with us and watch with me, since with the skills you showed I am going to make you a reserve member. Oh, this could be a really good thing. I can get information on all the members of this team. If it is a small team led by Esdeath, they must be really powerful. I wonder if they possess Tegu or not. Maybe this is where I'll find Shambhala, the space Tegu. In response, I just nodded. Okay. I wonder how I stack up against this team you made. It is always good to test my strength against strong opponents. Esdeath gave me a nod. Yes, that is good. Although you are clearly pretty strong, you still thrive to test your strength and get stronger. Just what I would expect from you. Come on, I think you will have fun on our first date. She stuttered a little on the last word but kept it together really well. She really can say embarrassing stuff without many problems. Then we left the palace and Esdeath talked to a few people and we got on a horse. Esdeath insisted that I sit behind her and wrap my arms around her waist, so I didn't really see anyone else. I wonder who is on this team. After riding for a long time, we finally arrived outside a fort-like area. Esdeath and I went to a ledge overlooking the area, and the 6 people who were with us walked towards the gate. It didn't take me long to recognize one of the figures. I didn't expect her to be here. Now that she was, I thought my cover might get blown and I started freaking out. The person in question was Kurome. It has been a long time since I last saw her. I wonder what she will do when she sees me. While I was thinking she could expose me, I remembered that the only person that knew I just showed up one day was Akame. Neither of us ever let on that the backstory we told them when I arrived at their base was made up. So as far as I am aware, Kurome still thinks my parents were killed by the rebels and I hate the revolution. If anything, this gives me an even tighter backstory. Now if anyone asks, after leaving the Elite 7 after it was disbanded, I went to the capital to live a quiet life as a food cart owner since I got bored of killing. After I got my story straight, I focused back on Esdeath. She was slowly moving closer to me and had her hand on top of mine. If she wasn't a mass murderer and world-famous sadist, I would definitely think it was really cute. I decided to strike up some conversation with her. I don't mean to be rude, Esdeath, but I heard that light blue hair color was a trait of your old clan from the north. From what I know, they were completely wiped out and you were the only survivor. Do you only like me because I have similar light blue hair? Esdeath looked at me a little shocked. I wonder if I said something I shouldn't have. I saw her look down and I couldn't see her eyes. I wonder if they had a sad look or an angry look. Then she spoke in a quiet tone, unlike her usual proud, loud voice. Maybe in some way I am attracted to your hair color, but what I find much more attractive is that, like me, you seem to know that in this world the strong survive and the weak die. To be weak is to deserve to die, and the strong deserve to kill and take from the weak. When I came back to my village after I was out hunting and found all of my tribe dead or dying, I found my father and he said that it was their fault for dying since they were weak. So the fact that you seem to embody that to some extent makes me feel a connection with you I could never have with anyone else. I couldn't help but wonder if maybe Esdeath kills people in mass to try to prove to herself that she isn't weak like her old tribe was? Maybe she is scared that if she doesn't actively show she is the strongest, she will be killed like her father. I can't help but feel a little bad for her. What is a teenager supposed to do when they go home and see everyone they ever knew dead or dying? Back on Earth, I have no idea what I would do if one day I went home and the entire suburb I lived in when I was young was dead, including my family. I decided to change the subject since the current one was really depressing. Hey Esdeath, is that girl in the black and red uniform Kurome? She looked up at me shocked again. You know Kurome? You really are full of surprises. Yes, that is Kurome. She is a member of my new team. How do you know her? There is no point lying about it, so I just told the truth. I was being taught by her commander in the Elite 7, Gazuki. I was very good friends with Kurome and her sister until almost all the team died and Akame joined the rebellion. Esdeath seemed to look a little confused and then asked, "Then why did you become a food stand owner if you were trained by such a high-ranking imperial official?" I just replied with what happened. My training wasn't official, so when the army came to take over the base I was actually only marked as the cook, and instead of joining the army as a low-ranking enlisted member I decided to go back to my roots of cooking and live a quieter life. Esdeath just nodded. I can see you never let up on your training. Even though you were not a fighter by trade, you still straightened your sword to prove that you were strong and deserved to be respected. How wonderful it would be if every normal citizen would have that mindset. Anyway, I'm sure Kurome will be happy to see you then. I know she has some family issues, so perhaps you can help her with those. After that we were quiet as we watched the town, fort burn and listened to the screams of the damned. Esdeath also gave up on being supple and gave me a bear hug and almost seemed desperate not to let me go. I have to admit, Esdeath doesn't actually strike me as a genocidal mass murderer, but more like someone who went with an idea they learned as a child and ran with it to the extreme. Perhaps she is also suffering like many of the people who have fallen victim to the terrible misfortune of this world. The end.